The pilgrim's predicament. Do I walk the Camino or do I go to the bar?
And we took a picture of that. And it was...
If you look like you're taking venga bien. Muchísimas gracias. Bueno, gracias. Gracias a vosotros.
As you've seen earlier, spring is such an explosion of sound and color. It's such a beautiful thing and I can't just walk past it. So I'm constantly falling behind because there's something beautiful that demands to be recorded. And it's when you try to really listen that you notice how much sound pollution there is. The constant hum, drone of cars is almost everywhere. And yet the wind and the birds fight valiantly to be heard. I gotta be honest though, the most jarring intrusion upon this natural opera comes from the very pilgrims who walk this path. Those groups engaged in ceaseless chatter at volumes that carry for miles. To be clear, I also love the joy of companionship and the exchange of stories with fellow travelers. But when the struggle to escape the incessant chatter becomes a constant, and either accelerating or falling back in the futile attempt to find a moment of tranquility, you can't help but wonder. So when I pause to capture the aural landscape, this reality becomes kind of undeniable. Not a minute passes without groups of people crossing the frame, with their voices carried on the wind, and the shrill metallic clacking of the walking poles just adding another dissonant thing to it. But I'm not one to lecture, and I too am one of those people, and everybody should do as they please. But at times I wish for a greater sense of quiet and maybe respect for those who seek some solitude while you're walking. And so I have deliberately slowed my pace, not only due to the demands of my knee, but also to fully appreciate the spectacle that nature has gifted us today. The celebratory cerveza at arrival will taste no less refreshing if I arrive 2 hours later. And I'm also finding out how much less taxing a slower pace is. In the comments, Danielle and Sia suggested I send my backpack ahead to ease the burden on my knee. And that was a great idea. I hadn't even considered it before, although it's such a simple one. So that's what I did. And my knee seems to be recovering, which is quite a relief because I was quite worried. So the great weather, the recovering knee, they lift my spirits. And it would all be perfect if it wasn't for the fact that the knee brace is probably going to give me a suntan like a zebra, but something's got to give. And to top off a fine day, my friend Dan from the great channel Camino Hacks sent me a message just minutes before reaching a great spot for a wild swim. It was already late in the day, so just as I had found the emptiness I was craving, I also got to jump into the cold water after a long walk. So thanks, Dan. That was a great one. So if you want more of this, subscribe and come walk along with me.